This video has been created to help all Korean Air employees understand the importance of secure boarding procedures to prevent any security incident at a boarding gate. Last summer, a husband and wife with 6 children showed up at the boarding gate of K957 that was bound for Tel Aviv. The husband was supposed to take a flight to New York on the same day, but he stopped by K957 to help his wife take the children on board. Unfortunately, the gate agent didn't recognize that the number of passengers and boarding passes did not match and allowed the family, including the husband, to board the plane. A passenger showed up to board a KA flight bound for Ho Chi Minh. However, he was holding other airlines' boarding pass bound for the same destination. The gate agent did not scan the boarding pass completely, but still allowed the passenger to pass through the boarding gate. Immediately after, the agent realized that the passenger was booked for a different airline's flight and stopped him from entering the cabin. If the gate agents counted the number of boarding passes accurately and scanned boarding passes completely, those accidents could have been prevented. So the first step to prevent security incident is to comply with the standard boarding procedure. Now, let's take a look at the standard boarding procedure. After completing ID and travel document check, greet the passenger and receive the boarding pass. If a group including adults, children, the elderly shows up, make sure that each passenger carries his or her boarding pass individually. Next, check the flight number, date, and destination on the boarding pass. If everything is correct, scan the boarding pass on the boarding gate reader. After verifying the green light on the display, tear off the smaller piece of the boarding pass and return it to the passenger. Then store the bigger piece of the boarding pass. The boarding procedure is completed once the passenger passes the gate check. The most important thing is to tear off each boarding pass only after you confirm the green light on the display. Then what actions must be avoided to prevent security incident for secure boarding? First, tearing off a boarding pass before confirming the green light. Do not tear off a boarding pass immediately after hearing the scanner beep. Be sure to wait until you see the green light appear on the BGR display, and then you can tear off the boarding pass. Second, tearing off boarding passes without matching the number of passengers and boarding passes. If a passenger presents many boarding passes at once, ask him or her how many passengers are in the group. After the passenger responds with a number, count and match the number of passengers to the number of boarding passes. Then scan the boarding passes if numbers match. Third, allowing passengers to pass through the gate before tearing off the boarding passes. If a passenger from a group tries to pass through the gate before all boarding passes are scanned, the gate agent must block the way. It's because the red light could be displayed for anyone in the group. Therefore, make sure that everyone in a group passes through the gate together only after all boarding passes are confirmed and torn off. Fourth, tearing off a boarding pass despite the red line on the display. If the red light shows up, the gate agent should figure out the cause, clear the error, and perform the manual boarding procedure. The sub-agent who scans the boarding pass should report the sequence number and seat number to the main agent. Also, the passenger's name should be matched if necessary.
시퀀스 9번 44 델타 이상진 님입니다. 이상진 님, 안쪽으로 모셔주십시오.
It is very important that the sub-agent waits for the proper instruction from the main agent to handle the problem before tearing off the boarding pass. There are 4 possible reasons as to why the red light would show up on the display. This chapter will give you a quick glance of each irregular case and its cause, so that you can properly deal with the problem during the boarding process. Wrong flight message pops up when a boarding pass of a different flight number is scanned. You should check the passenger's boarding pass and match the flight number, date, destination, and departure time with the system. If it becomes clear that the passenger came to the wrong gate, guide him or her to the relevant gate according to the information on the boarding pass. Scanning boarding pass of on-carriage flight or second leg of multi-portion flight may also cause wrong flight message to appear on the display. Always check the flight number and destination when receiving a boarding pass. Unable to board message means that additional handling is needed at the gate in order to board a passenger. Let's see the 4 main cases. A passenger is ineligible to board when a high priority comment such as gate comment and next time comment has not been delivered. Check the comment that pops up and contact the passenger to take the necessary action. After delivering the comment to the passenger, press Delivered on the system to proceed with the boarding process. This occurs when any of the passenger travel information is insufficient in the system. You need to input missing data to proceed with the boarding procedure. An overseas issued credit card used for payment online or over the phone needs further verification face-to-face. For cards that need to be verified, the credit card message pops up requiring the entry of credit card number. So, confirm that the credit card number and holder's name match and then input the number into the system. When baggage status and passenger's acceptance status do not match, this message pops up. You'll see a different icon instead of the normal baggage icon on the CP table. Cross-check the number of checked baggage and baggage tag numbers that a passenger has with those in the system. If everything is correct, update the baggage status as follows. After handling each case according to the error messages displayed on the system, be sure that the system reflects that every passenger is properly on board. There are 2 main cases for already boarded. First case is when a boarding pass is mistakenly scanned twice in a row. On the boarding history, you can see a same seat number consecutively, implying that you simply scanned the boarding pass twice. Next case occurs when two different passengers with identical boarding passes show up at the gate. This happens when both passengers were incorrectly checked in under one reservation due to having same or similar name or some other reasons. For example, passenger A comes to a gate holding a boarding pass of seat number 30C. Since the boarding pass has no problem, the green light is shown on the screen and the passenger is allowed to board without any warning message. A little while later, passenger B comes and tries to board with a boarding pass that also has the seat number 30C. When the boarding pass is scanned, the already boarded message pops up with the red light on the display. If you face the situation, you must stop the boarding procedure and look up the passenger's history. Match passenger B's passport and itinerary data with those on the CM system. If they do not match, it implies that passenger B was incorrectly issued a boarding pass with different passengers' reservation. On the other hand, if all data match, you can assume that passenger A, who boarded prior to passenger B, has the wrong boarding pass. Main agent should find out whether the same boarding pass has been issued to each person through the printing history. Furthermore, the agent should search for the boarding pass of passenger A in the pile of collected boarding passes. Sub-agent should go to the cabin and get the passport and itinerary data from passenger A. Like this, you must identify the passenger with the wrong boarding pass. Find the original reservation record of the passenger, check in the passenger again, and release a new boarding pass to him or her. To avoid this trouble prior to boarding, it is helpful to look up the check-in history of different people with the same name by searching customer list number 95, dupe name. Seating error occurs when the seat number printed on a boarding pass does not match the number on our system. Seating message appears when an agent does not reprint the boarding pass of an already accepted passenger after making changes including involuntary upgrade, service class change, inoperative sit-in, etc. Gate agent should print the new boarding pass and exchange it with the one that the customer has in possession. Be sure to tear off a boarding pass after accurately confirming the green light. And tear off a boarding pass only after properly handling the problem when the red light turns on. Keeping these true principles is the first step for preventing security incidents. This concludes the course on the importance of secure boarding procedure. Thank you.